Well, it's time to get ourselves down to Southern charm.
Ba-ba-doo.
It's easy. As the birds and the bees and the 1, 2, 3s.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's why Paige and Craig, do they have a moniker? Or do they don't, I guess. Paige and Craig, that's why they went and did the bee thing in this episode. They were trying to take it as 1, 2, 3 from the theme song.
Oh, maybe. I was
don't
wondering why they were at a
know.
beehive.
But you got your ladies here in the living room, your pals, Laura and Kristen, and we are ready to dig into all the tea that happened in southern South Carolina.
Yes.
It's not southern South Carolina. It's actually like, where do they live? Like
Charleston is.
Charleston,
It's not
yeah.
like way southern South Carolina. It's kind of like middle-ish.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Somewhere
get
towards
down
the east
We
where
gotta
the
get down
water
there.
is. Yeah, they're on the water.
So we start
Anyway.
off with our favorite person, Vanita, who always looks like she just rolled in from a tennis match. Doesn't she?
Yes,
always
she
looks like
does.
she just popped in from playing a few sets.
Yes.
She would work well with Sutton, I feel like. Sutton looks like she's rolling in.
Oh, yeah, they'd be good
yeah, she
together,
looks like
those
she just
two.
bebopped in from the club.
Yeah,
Like,
I
she's
love it.
Bebopping.
I love it.
So she
Finish
starts talking
with
to
Lava.
Lava right on the phone, and it's the aftermath of the JT bullshit that he's seeing someone, and she's like, Lava's like, he's such a loser. He never said he had a girlfriend, and then
She said, like, we're with him all the time. We never saw your
right,
girlfriend.
and then she also said,
It's a
Vanita
little
was like, I never would have said anything if I knew he had a girlfriend. Like,
yeah.
Vanita is annoyed, and she should be annoyed
Totally.
because that's annoying.
It is. Yeah. I'm like really not liking JT.
Oh no,
So
he's off my list.
I
now.
went
Now
from a
hate him.
fan to
Yeah, like ew. Like,
no, thank
gross.
you.
And I don't like that he let her on with all the stuff like my mom. You know, we talked about last week. Like you're my mom's favorite, and I'm
No.
insanely attracted
What's he
to you.
teasing her for?
No, you're not insanely attracted to her. Because if you were,
Yeah, you
would
wouldn't be
dating her.
seeing some other girl
Yeah,
or
like,
or maybe
ew.
he's embellishing on that. I don't know.
I think he is. I think he's just being a dick.
He's being a
dork and
dickwad.
dum
Mm.
and a dickweed. He's not being the chivalrous JT that he wants to be.
No. So
But we digress. We get to Madison and Austin.
yes.
She gets them shots.
So they're like BFFs now. Or what does he say? He's like her gay BFF.
She treats him like her GBF.
GBF,
the
yes.
gay best friend.
Gay best friend.
She gets them shots and Austin is impressed. What a way to get to Austin's heart. Just order him some booze and he'll be just fine.
But it is nice to see Austin and Madison as friends from where they came from.
I can't believe they
so
can
they have
be
they have a
friends.
good friendship. And
I
I'm
can't
surprised
believe
in a
it.
way that her husband's okay with it, but he seems to be, I guess.
can't believe that they were able to because they were really like enemies.
It was
and It was
contentious.
like hot too. Like they were up for, you know what I mean? They were
Yes.
like hot for each other. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So of course he tells Madison about the meeting with Craig
Yeah.
and Shep. And of course he's like, of course, Craig led with business.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was there for the friendship talk, and he took zero criticism. And Austin said he felt like a 13-year-old girl. Like, be my friend. Won't you be my friend, Craig?
I have to give Austin some credit because he doesn't seem so hurt about the
No.
$30K to be bought out. It's like an afterthought for
Yeah,
him.
yeah, he doesn't
It's
care.
more really genuinely about losing a friend.
Yeah,
his
for
friend, his
sure.
best friend. So he's really hurt by that. He's a sensitive soul.
And he says he doesn't want to play the game anymore. Like,
Yes.
Austin's like the 13-year-old girl, like, Craig, can we comb each other's hair?
Yeah.
I'm sure Austin would love that because he's always stressing over his hair.
Oh, yeah. He's very into
He's
his
so
hair.
freaking annoying.
That's annoying.
And now we get to our friend, which was interesting because now we know they're broken up, of course. But I would have said if they were still together after watching this scene, I would have said what I've always said, which is she don't like this guy. What is she
She's
doing?
so over that relationship.
And I love that Craig was like, look, we're going to learn about bees because there's no chickens allowed in my community. Like, I just thought that was hysterical. He wants chickens. Of course, there's no chickens allowed in your community.
Yeah.
Because they bring disease. Like, you can't
No, like he's saying it. He went there because he wants like a little. He wish he could have a little farm where he lives.
Yeah, he wants to have a.
He wants like in his beautiful home in his beautiful backyard. He'd like to have a little chicken farm.
He's like, yeah, but they don't allow chickens in the community.
And what was the bees for though? I didn't understand that. They were just trying to get the experience.
He said they were getting the suits on and. They were just, I guess they were, I don't know, maybe he wants to have bees, like he wants to have honey, maybe. I mean, I know a lot of people that have, lot of people that have bees.
Yeah, okay, to make the real organic, natural honey.
To make honey. I mean, you take it out. There's nothing like a bee, apparently, from a beehive. Like, you move the wax away and it's just pure honey. I mean, how could you get any more organic than that, right?
And that is Craig's thing. I mean, he is a real Martha Stewart at heart with really things. And he's really into that.
And he says to her, so the male bee mates and then he dies. Or did somebody say that? And Paige was like, I couldn't love anything more. I couldn't love anything more than that.
But she was so horrified being there. It is so out of her element.
And
it was just like, get me out of here.
Craig said his fantasy is having bees and chicken and cooking hot dogs for lunch and have a baby. And Paige is not into it, Craig.
At all.
At all. Like everything else she does, she's just not into it. And then he was talking about the baby animals, right? And Craig was like, it warms my heart, when you talk about kids. And then...
and which was very sweet.
Yeah, but she doesn't want any part of it.
She's just, like, that's not where her head is.
She doesn't want to feel any pressure from him about it. She wants to have the same allotment that he was allotted. Like, Craig, did anybody sit you down when you were 31? She's like, you make me feel like I'm 75 years old.
Yeah.
And, and did anybody ask you? And he's like, hey, don't get mad at me. I'm not the noise here. I don't ever put pressure on you. And Paige says, look, if I don't give enough love to you, then that's on you.
Yeah.
And right there. And then she was like,
yeah.
Then it gets put on me and I'm the bad girlfriend. And Craig's like, I just want to be lovey-dovey and talk about our family. It's like, that's all he wants. Find yourself a little.
There's millions of girls that would love this
with you, but apparently he's like, I think Craig really needs to be led around, and he's really attracted to Paige because she's got an alpha energy.
Yeah, very much.
And he needs to be led around.
Yeah, it's just
why I'm sure there's 1,000 million little blonde girls that'll wax poetic with you all day about Muffy and Tuffy, your kids.
Yeah, He does do better with an alpha woman
because he needs to
just
be
because
led
of the way
around.
his personality is.
He needs to be led around.
But there's a lot of alpha women he can find out there that want babies and a chicken
funny. He's
farm
trying to
too.
be the alpha dog with Austin.
Yeah,
it's just funny, and it just it's not a natural role for him. He just comes off like a dick.
Yeah, he does.
You know what I mean? Like he hasn't figured out like who he is yet. Like he has.
Yeah,
but it just doesn't look good on him somehow.
No.
But Craig,
I think the more he's talking to Paige about the family and the babies and the life, the more turned off and disgusted she's getting, which I think ultimately led to their breakup. So it was just like I'm just like so disgusted.
But talk about what he said on Watch What Happens Live, because he was on Watch What Happens Live.
Yeah,
talk about what he said on that.
Yeah, it was good because, they it looks like on Giggly Squad, when she first announced their breakup, she said it was mutual.
Right. He said that is
And he said
true.
That is not what happened. But here's the thing. And I like Paige. I always liked Paige. But I gotta say, I mean, she's getting her friends Amanda and Kyle from Summer House.
Right.
They were doing an interview, and they were basically saying like Craig is throwing Paige to the wolves because everyone thinks that she cheated on him.
Oh, he says he brought all out, the Austins of the world and everybody to talk against.
And Austin's talking against him. But to Craig's defense, and Craig said it perfectly on Watch What Happens Live, I didn't say that. I didn't do anything. I'm not part of this. So they're upset because he said it right. I mean, she broke up with him. He said that. It wasn't mutual. She broke up with him.
Over
what
the
is he
phone.
supposed to do now that he got dumped? Go back and go, oh, she didn't cheat on me. It's like, that's your problem.
And
you deal with that.
Why is she breaking up over the phone? They've been together for 3.5 years or 2.5 years.
Yeah, 3.
Okay, so 3.5 years, over 3.5 weeks, you should break up with someone in person, right?
Of course.
Like, why are you doing it on the phone? She just called him and was like, yeah, it's over. He was like blindsided. Basically.
He was.
And she said right on her podcast, which I listened to, she said, no one was blindsided here.
Okay. So what does
That's
that
what she
mean?
said. But he said he was completely blindsided.
He was blind. Well, maybe she's saying no one was blindsided because they've been getting into it lately with the tension, like you see on the show that just happened, right?
Wait, I think
but maybe he really still was like, but we love each other, so we're going to make it work.
Wait a second. I think we're going to find out on Southern Charm that he bought her a ring.
Yeah, I think
she asked her. She asked him to.
Yeah. So there's confusion there. I don't know, Paige. I'm a little upset.
I'm not a
Craig
Paige
gave
fan.
himself a very he handled it like a gentleman on Watch What Happens Live. He clarified that it was not a mutual breakup, and why should he have to defend her on not cheating on him?
Agreed.
If he broke up with Paige, okay, turn the tables for a quick second. If he broke up with Paige, right? And they saw her at a football game or wherever the hell she was, Eagles game. If they saw him at a game with a woman, right? And would he expect her to go on and say, "Oh, he didn't cheat on me"? She wouldn't do that for him,
right? Exactly.
So
she's not. I don't know.
I don't know. She's not. I think that she's used to having control in that relationship. She's losing some control of this narrative, and she's upset about it.
Yeah. Sorry, Paige.
That's what I think because she's the alpha.
It didn't hurt. Yeah, it didn't hurt because you look like such a. Even Pat said. Miss Pat was like, I think she was mean to him. And she clearly was mean to him. If they were still together, it'd be like, why?
Well, Andy brought that up too. What did you think about Pat saying that Paige was mean to you? And he did say it was classy. No, he goes, yeah, she was not mean to me. We never fought.
Couple. Right. We never really fought. We were a good couple. We were a cute couple. And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. He defended her. And he said, I'm a better person since I've been with her. So,
well, I think she turned him around. She set him up for the next girl.
Yeah, she did turn him around.
She set him up. She got him
to her credit
out of Austin. Yeah. She was like, look,
out of the drinking.
A lot of things got to change if
his career skyrocketed since they've been together. Yeah. So you really have to credit her for that, and he credited her for that.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
So now we cut to Male doing a photo shoot for taxidermy it was so funny. She's like, there's not a lot of jobs in Charleston. She's like, they're all like more smiley jobs. And she's like, that's just not my thing.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm more high fashion, which is like,
yeah, like
the blue steel look,
Yeah.
Like not smiling, but I thought it was funny. They're more smiley jobs. And she's like,
very clever the way she says things.
She is. She's very aware of who she is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's like, there's a short shelf life for modeling. And I was like, Molly's getting her groove back,
I think she looked beautiful. I mean, she's got that model look.
Yeah, but she's weird looking, I think.
Yeah. But with that weird looking, maybe, and that's like part of the allure. In the modeling world, you do have to have sometimes a different look. So,
yeah. So there is that look. She definitely has it.
Yes.
We cut to Shep eating sriracha and hot sauce on whatever the hell that he's
rice
always
dish or whatever it was.
Shit. I feel like he's got the worst
diet.
Oof. Oh, he must have his insides must just be rancid. I can't even imagine.
Maybe that's why Sienna's not so into him.
And he calls exactly because you can imagine like what kind of gas he must have after the sriracha hot sauce meat situation.
Yeah.
And he calls Sienna and he's all twisted up about Sienna and he wants to come down.
She's so not into him.
And she's just not into it.
She's just like, oh, yeah. Like,
and he's into her. Like,
okay.
Right.
We're busy. It's been a lot.
And that was kind of that whole thing. And and now we cut
that went nowhere, yeah.
Miss Pat's house. And I just made a note how much I hate her dining room. It's so cluttered. Like, this is the guy's dinner. It's so bright yellow and cluttered. And and I even thought about the shit chairs. And then the shit chair comes up. That was so funny.
With the chairs.
Oh, my God. And Whitney was in a tux. All the guys were in the tux, actually.
And Whitney was hammered.
I
Oof.
mean, Whitney.
Slurring his words, hammered.
And just being the god-awful douche
so
that
don't
he
like
is.
Whitney.
Just being the douchebag that he is.
Shep
arrives, and he fills Austin in fills in Whitney, about the Craig and Shep meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And Austin is saying he's being petty, like Craig is being petty, and nobody believes. And he's like, he's just going to shut up about it. He's not going to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
And Craig also arrives and looks totally hot. He's way hotter than any of the rest of them.
Oh, definitely.
I love the navy tux with the no socks.
Yeah.
I just love that look.
What isn't a Southern Charm season without showing these moments, though, when they're at Miss Pat's house having these dinners with these guys? I mean, this is what makes the show special. So I love seeing these scenes.
Oh, I do too. I like it too. I just can't stand her dining room.
Yeah, no, I agree.
The bright yellow and all
the dining
old,
room is just like, ugh.
All the old, I feel like there's dollies everywhere. Like, just like weirdo dolls.
Tchotchkes.
Tchotchkes and ugly shit. Doesn't go with Pat.
Yeah,
her taste doesn't look like her.
Yeah, agreed.
And then they have, Pat driving with Shep. I mean, that was great. And he's like,
that was so funny.
And she almost hit a girl. She definitely hit the curb.
Yeah, she did.
But I thought that was pretty funny. And then, of course, Whitney is just getting himself hammered, and he claps like, Chef is ready. And then I noticed Craig got to the table with a water glass full of wine. Did you see that goblet he had full of red wine?
Oh, no, I didn't notice.
That thing was massive.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was huge.
So it was an actual water glass, or was it a wine glass?
It was a wine. It looked
But it was filled to the rim, maybe?
It was filled. It had to be a good 3/4 of the bottle.
Wow.
Like, I was like, damn.
Craig, who isn't drinking so much anymore, I guess he was drinking that night.
Like, all right.
I'll have some fun tonight.
I would love some yummy bolognese right now, because
well, I made it for dinner last night.
Oh, did you?
When my brother came over, because I was inspired from the show. I was like, Dan and I, my husband Dan and I, when we were watching it, I said, that's what I'm going to make for dinner. So it was really good. I love bolognese.
I love bolognese.
Oh, and the Capri salad. Very nice.
I agree.
That chef was very, very good. He knows what he's doing. And then they had some delicious chocolate parfait or something for dessert.
I think all her chocolate looks like shit. I think, like, she doesn't even display it. She just puts it down. It's like, And then I thought this was great. Now they're sitting at the table, and Pat asks, have you ever thought about giving Paige an ultimatum? And Austin doesn't know anything about the day-to-day.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't know anything.
Yeah, they don't talk about it. They're in their own little world, the two of them.
And they've only been together for 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. And she's like, why don't you just propose and see if she accepts? Craig points out that he hasn't asked her yet. Mm-hmm. But that's only because he knows where she stands.
I think he knows that he's afraid she's going to say no.
Pat says that back in her day, it was like you dated someone for a little while, then you got married. She's like, these guys, it's very murky, the schedule with women. Very murky.
And I agree with her. It is murky these days, right?
And he says he's proposing by the end of the year.
Okay.
He showed her rings. Said, Pat says, ask me about the diamonds.
So they are going ring shopping at this point, because he was saying she liked some emerald cut.
Yeah, he knew the cut she liked.
Yeah.
And then Austin says, well, all right. Well, if you're going to get engaged, is she going to move here then? Like,
yeah.
And he's like, well, we can still travel weekly. And then
it's
Whitney
doomed.
Breaks the fucking chair. That was the best.
Oh, the way he fell.
It was awesome. And his feet were in the air, like full on, like in the air.
What is it, though, with these chairs?
It's
like they're falling apart. Why are they sitting on them?
And like,
get new chairs.
Her antiques are old and smelly. Like, get new antiques.
Get new antiques.
I mean, his legs in the air, that was classic. And it was so great. They had another one there in like 2 seconds. I was like, it was like it never happened.
Oh my God. It's almost like, did they do it on purpose?
No.
Because it's happened before with the chairs.
It's bullshit. Nobody should be sitting in them. And Pat's like, it doesn't matter what kind of elevated theme that she used. It comes down to arguments, accusations, and breakage. No, it comes down to cheap chairs, Pat.
Cheap old chairs.
Yeah, the dessert looked yummy though.
It did.
What did they have for
it was.
dessert?
Oh, you know what it was? It wasn't parfait. I'm sorry. It was a chocolate panna cotta. It looked very nice. It's almost like a chocolate fancy pudding kind of
fancy
dish.
pudding.
Or a chocolate mousse.
Now they talk about how they're all going to Bahamas. I was like, Craig's like, we're all packing up and heading down to the Bahamas.
Okay, so that's going to be their next trip. When they're because every season they go away, so they're going to go to Bahamas next.
But apparently, I think he's calling her, and she doesn't pick up the phone, which I think is even more funny.
Oh my God!
Whitney asks if he's in love with Sienna, and he says yes.
Yeah.
And Austin then chimes in and says, "Well, she ghosts Shep for days at a time."
Yeah. But then Whitney reveals,
oh my God,
that she contacted him on Raya first.
Right. Oh my God. Well, he said, being his drunk self, Shep said that he didn't, not Shep. Shep says he doesn't know where he stands right now with her. And Whitney's like, well, it's because you're not rich enough and you're boring. I think that's the overriding issue. Sorry.
He's so obnoxious.
That's
this
literally
guy.
what he said. Like, what a dick.
But he didn't say it. He slurred it.
He slurred it out.
He slurred it out. It was so wrong.
And then Shep says Whitney can be a jackass and he has zero filter self-awareness about being rude sometimes.
Because he's cocky.
It's all the time.
Yes.
He's gross.
Even
Whitney.
Pat looked a little horrified by the way he was behaving.
Pat said, maybe Whitney, you should go to bed. And Craig's like, you're getting put to bed by your mom.
Craig says Whitney is like having dinner with your granddad.
Yeah, because he's just like saying stupid shit and he has no filter.
Yeah. Like a cranky old man.
And then Whitney says, if we go to Nassau, she has zero interest in you. Like, he doesn't even know what he's saying. He's slurring. And Shep said, that's bullshit. And Whitney says, she's the one who reached out to me first.
Mm-hmm.
And
so he did tell him.
But he knew.
Yeah, he didn't seem surprised. Maybe she told him.
Maybe she told him.
Yeah, because when Pat revealed it to Madison last episode, it was like, I wonder if Shep knows this. But Shep knew.
They connected on Raya.
Okay.
And Whitney's also sitting there and he's bummed and he's like, it must suck me being better than you. I'm like,
oh God,
fuck you, Whitney. I just think Whitney is the grossest.
I agree.
Like, the most icky human being. Like, if I was in his presence, I would feel so awful and uncomfortable.
I wouldn't talk to him. Did you see him at BravoCon? Was he at BravoCon when you went that time? Oh, he wasn't there. Okay, I was curious. Out of all the seasons that we have seen Whitney, he is the most obnoxious.
Oh, he's always
and
been that way,
vile this season. No. I've tolerated him before. I'm just not.
You know what? The way that he and Ravenel treated Catherine, I can't get past it.
I know.
The way he treated Catherine.
Disgusting.
She's a young girl.
I know.
She was 21.
She's still young.
Right.
She's only like 32 now or 33.
21, and you were like a 40-year-old man at the time.
No.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Ew. You would have been off the show a long time ago if it wasn't yours.
Yeah.
That he probably lucked into somehow.
Can I ask you something back to Craig and Paige really quick? Because now it's like the internet is like ablaze with them with their breakup and everything.
Sure, yeah.
Do you think that she's going to wind up regretting breaking up with Craig? Or do you think she's going full speed ahead, living her life, so happy she's out of that Charleston
she wants to make
baby
millions.
And so she's just going to take off with her career and be done with this and not look back, right? I'm just wondering if she's going to ever look back, because remember Naomi when he broke up with Naomi and she winds up regretting it.
We can't read the future.
We can't read the future. I'm just curious.
I think she will be at someday. Maybe not now.
Maybe in like 2 years or 3 years.
Her nose is dropped and she looks like a bird, and she's gonna be like, "Wait, I had this super amazing guy, and now
who worshipped me,
right? And now I
got
some jerk off from New York. Like, she's
exactly.
gonna get lost in New York. Like, I don't think Paige. I think her confidence far outweighs her abilities and looks.
Okay, there you go.
And I think she's way too confident for what she's got going
well
on,
said.
You know? And some people like that kind of confidence, but I don't think she's got a hell of a lot to back it up.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion.
And she is I think Craig is a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
I think when he moves on, that's when it'll start hitting her more.
But I also see, she's like an alpha dog. So, and I see that Craig is like the puppy dog who needs to be led.
Yeah.
And that also is annoying. So I'm kind of saying like, I get maybe why, but I think she should have thought a lot harder before she threw him out.
I think so.
You know what I mean?
But I think it is going to be hard for her to find someone that worships her as much as Craig. And she had total control in that relationship, and that she may not have that again.
But the thing is, if you got, in Paige's defense a little bit, you have to love the person. And he made her skin crawl.
Yeah. That's
I think,
right.
I mean, maybe they were cute off camera or whatever. And he's like, she really turns it on for the camera. But at the end of the day, like, she didn't like him.
Yeah, she didn't.
He bugged her.
Yeah, he did. Irked her.
She's like, if that's not enough for you, this is, if this is how I am, if it's not enough love for you, well then that's on you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's not how you treat somebody who's being lovey-dovey. Like, if you're a sweet, loving person back, she's just not.
Yeah.
It's
not who she is. So I think you're right in that respect. In
right.
her defense a little bit, it was just, they just weren't a good match.
Not a match.
Not a match.
Not a match.
There you
go.
Okay.
There you have it. So we are out of Charleston this week. Pat, if you're listening, Miss Pat, we love you, but get some new chairs.
Please.
I don't want to see Whitney in me. That was so great. It brought Whitney down.
I'm glad he fell, though.
It brought Whitney down to a human level. I loved seeing him on his back with his ass in the air.
And his legs in the air.
It was just so funny. He was like, I think maybe you should go to bed, Whitney.
Yes.
Dumbass. Oh, Whitney.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Whitney.
Okay.
All right. Well, that is it from Charleston.
Oh, and congratulations to Madison.
Oh, yeah.
She's
Madison and Brett having a baby. Yay.
So nice. Happy for them.
Oh, and wait. One big funny ass piece of news. Not on the show now, but Mr. Thomas Ravenel is running for governor.
Wow.
I mean, of South Carolina.
Amazing.
Can you imagine? God bless.
He's got the guts to do it. I mean.
Well, he also has the money.
And he has the money.
But it's so funny because he said that, he just, why he ran for senator was he just liked people going, "Good morning, Senator." Thanks, Senator. That was his whole reasoning.
Yes.
I mean.
Yeah. I think being a politician is who he is.
Oh.
So it's just in him to do it.
Stupid enough to put him into power, then all the best to you. Whatever happens in South Carolina, God bless it.
Good luck.
Oh my Lord.
Yes.
All right. Well, good luck with the campaign there, Mr. Ravenel.
All the best there.
And we will see everybody next week for more Southern Charm.
Yes.
Have a great one.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.